Should I record this later? The sunset is killing me right. I mean, I normally like the sunset, but like it's just glaring through this window and it's like hitting my face. What up, fam? So I've been waiting to do a video like this for a very long time, and that is ranking every single modular that LEGO has come out with since 2007. LEGO Modular, that was creator expert, has now become its own official thing as the LEGO Modular series or line or whatever it is. It's its own thing now in a nice black box for the 18 plus. And aside from LEGO Ideas, which I personally thought was catered towards the full or adult audience of LEGO, the modular building was a saving grace to get a lot of people, to include myself, back into LEGO from their dark ages. And I'm not gonna lie, I use Ezra as an excuse to get back into LEGO myself because I wasn't sure if this is something I wanted to dive back into, but looking at him, the youth and joy and excitement is what brought me back to this. And out of every single thing that LEGO has come out with to entice me to come back into the hobby, the modular buildings out of the creator expert line, now my first purchase getting back into it was Assembly Square and the Parisian Restaurant at the same time, and from there it just snowballed. Like, I literally picked up every single modular as quickly as I could, and that was a smart move because now they are all super expensive. Going from Grand Emporium on, it just didn't stop. I was eBaying. I made my first third-party buy from Amazon, which was a big mistake. I learned from that, went to eBay and Bricklink, and I was able to pick up the other modules that I needed, starting from Grand Emporium on, then back to Brickbank, Detective's Office, and then I went backwards to get Fire Brigade, and then I caught up. I got everything from Fire Brigade on until it was time to get the Town Hall, which was super expensive. I got Green Grocer and Cafe Corner for a relatively cheap price used. Those are my only two used modular sets for about 300 bucks. I had to do a lot of cleaning, but I have them in my collection. I think the hardest modular for me to get out of all of them was Town Hall. That was the one that broke the bank, and it was only out for a limited amount of time in comparison to the time that all the other modulars were out. And from there, I was able to pick up every single modular except for Market Street. I kind of do and I kind of don't want that. I mean, it's technically the factory line, which is a whole topic on its own, but like, I don't want it. But as a completionist that has every single modular except for that one, I think I need to pick that up. I think I'm gonna try to get it used. I really don't care for it. I really don't have a space for it. I mean, I do, but I don't want to waste the space on it, but I feel like I should since I have the two classic sets. So the classic period consisted of Cafe Corner, Market Street, and Green Grocer, which I don't have complete yet. So I guess I need to get it. So I have all the golden era, which is pretty much Fire Brigade all the way to Pet Shop and Town Hall. I think that's a golden era. From Detective Office on is like the new era, which is like, you know, stories, design, everything, which is what I really love about it now. Now bring it all back together, you have so many ways of configuring layouts of how you can do your cities, and mine is currently on my shelves, which is a mountain. It's not just shelves, it's a freaking mountain. I'm gonna make it a mountain, I promise. I already started with the rocks right there, okay? It's gonna be a mountain. It's gonna be shaped like a mountain, it's gonna be full of lerps and slow pieces, and then it'll make sense. But aside from that, I have them all. So since I finally got the police station in my collection, I'm gonna rank my modules from least to favorite, to include Market Street, because, well, I have to, right? So let's dive right into it. Forewarning, I'm gonna try to get through this as quickly as possible so that way it's not super long and boring. So let's get right into it. So the way that I compiled my information was to get on Bricktsar and look at each individual modular's different characteristics for each set. Anywhere between what it's worth now used, what it's worth now new, what it was worth at the time of release, and how long it was on the shelf. I then compiled all my needed information into a Excel sheet. So each individual set gets a different score from 1 through 5, 1 being and 5 being I'm down with it. So I separated the scoring in between interior, the exterior, the story of the set, and the value. Now, if I needed a tiebreaker, I looked at the importance of the set within an actual town, which is pretty much my own internal biases. At number 16 is the Market Street, set number 10190, released in 2007, has 3 minifigures, 1,248 pieces, was on the shelf for about 1.5 years. Now, when I'm going through these 1.5 years or 1.8 years, it's a give or take a month or two. The set retailed for $89.99, and buying this set new is around 1,800 bucks. Used around 800. Now, the one thing that makes this set stick out is that it used modern faces instead of the traditional classic smiley faces, and it was also within the factory line, and it was only 90 bucks. So number 15 would be the Pet Shop. Set number 10218 came out in 2011, has 4 minifigures, 2,032 pieces, was on the shelf for about 5.5 years. Went for $149.99. New resale goes for around $237, used around $200. That's actually really not that bad. Now this is a very basic set which doesn't have really anything special, but we all technically need it. It's like glue. Number 14, Cafe Corner, set number 10182, came out in 2007, has 3 minifigures, 2,056 pieces. The set was on the shelf for almost 2 years, debuted at $139.99. Right now, new goes around $2,300 and averages around $800 used. Now, this is the first set that came out with this whole modular craze and one of the hardest ones to attain. It has no interior, so there's no story, but it is an icon and is a must-have if you are a die-hard collector. And I'm actually surprised that I was this low on the list. Number 13, Grand Emporium, set 10211, came out in 2010. This set contains 7 minifigures, 2,182 pieces, was on the shelf for about 3.5 years, retailed for $149.99. On average, new goes around $400, used $300. The interior is a little bare, the outside is pretty cool. Not really something to scream about, but it's a nice corner building that is definitely something to have if you need a city, because everyone needs somewhere to shop. High-end place too. Number 12, the Fire Brigade, set number 10197, came out in 2009, has 4 minifigures, 2,231 pieces, was on the shelf for 4 years. The set sold for $149.99. Average retail is around $450 new and around $350 used. Now this was the first modular that came with a full interior and somewhat of a story, and I guess really not so popular since Lego City has a lot of fire stations, but this is a proper one within a modular city, technically something that we all need. At number 11, we have the green Grocer, set number 10185, came out in 2008, has 4 minifigures, 2,352 pieces, was on the shelf for about 1.5 years, sold for $149.99. Wow. To be a fly on that shelf. This set goes for around $1,149 new in the box and around $800 used. For what it was at the time, it is a beautiful set. It's a hard set to piece together that it's almost not worth it instead of using the pieces that's needed in the set, and it comes out a lot better using modern pieces in my opinion. Like Cafe Corner, this one is highly sought after and highly praised. At number 10, we have the Bookshop, set number 10270, came out in 2020. Little that we knew about what was going to happen that year when this set came out. So this set comes with 5 minifigures, about 2,504 pieces. It's still currently available and it goes for about $179.99. Now, this is a really good, beautiful set. Just like the pet shop, you can separate both of these and kind of place it however you wish all over the city, which is good to have. It is screaming total dorbs. Number 9, Palace Cinema, set number 10232. This set, released at 2013, has 6 minifigures, 2,196 pieces. This was on the shelf for about 3.5 years and retailed for about $149.99. New comes around $250. Used $227. So this is actually really affordable if you can find it and not get ripped off. Now the Palace Cinema interior is actually really cool. It has what you need for a movie theater. It doesn't really click with the style of the golden era of modulars, but it does at the same time. That Chinese theater architecture makes it stick out as a monument amongst itself. Number 8. Town Hall, set number 10224. This set was released in 2012 with 8 minifigures, 2,766 pieces, and was only on the shelf for about 1.5 years, which is pretty short when you look at the other sets that were around the same time. This set retailed for about $149.99. Right now, new, you can find it for around $700, used around $500. Now, every town or city needs a town hall. Now, the town hall is boring architecturally, but it towers amongst the rest, and this is where the city is run. Really sad that it wasn't kept on the shelf for much longer. At number 7, we have the Corner Garage, set number 10264, came out in 2012, has 6 minifigures, 2,569 pieces, is currently available and sells for about $109.99. Now, I feel like this one's a very underrated and hated set, and a lot of fans feel like it doesn't really mesh well with the rest of the buildings and is not given the credit that it needs. Yeah, it's $200, which is a complete slap in a lot of people's faces, but it's still a well done modular. At number 6, we have the Brick Bank, set number 10251, came out in 2016, has 5 minifigures, 2,380 pieces, was on the shelf for about 2.8 years, around 3 years, retail for $169.99, is going for about $400 new and around $330 or $340 used. Now the story in this is actually pretty funny. You have a laundromat right next to the brick bank, which is, you know, your laundering money, a plain words, and is another underrated set in my opinion. It's a well-designed bank. When you look at it, it looks like a bank. At number 5, we have the Detective's Office. Set number 10246, released in 2015, has 6 minifigures, 2,262 pieces, was on the shelf for about 2.8 years, almost 3 years, just under. Retail for $159.99. This was the first of a cohesive story that made sense amongst the modular line and is not given the credit that it deserves. Yes, the size is not overwhelming like a lot of the other sets, but it has a lot of nooks and crannies with a cohesive storyline that ties the whole thing together. And at the same time, one of the beginnings of having multiple buildings within one set that complement depth. At number 4, we have the Diner. Set number 10260, released in 2018, has 6 minifigures, 2,480 pieces, was recently retired at only 1.8 years, retail for $169.99. Right now goes for about $193 new and around $190 used. When the Diner came out, it had a very polarized viewpoint from different people. You either really liked it or you didn't. And now the hate was pretty much it just didn't match. We went from kind of a 30s, 40s look straight up into the 50s. It kind of was a sore thumb, and the design of it kind of put out a corner building and didn't really mesh well. It was the first time the minifigures were no longer the classic minifigure face. The interior is actually really well designed. The exterior looks like a jukebox and it works well in a 50s style theme. People forget that architecturally, towns update itself. Not every town is historically preserved and has a very strict design code. At number 3, the Police Station, set 10278. The set was released in 2021 with 5 minifigures, 2,923 pieces. It's currently available, retails for about $109.99. Just like any other new release modular, it gets a lot of hate and it wasn't given the credit it was deserved. Until you actually build it, you would appreciate it for what it is. In comparison to other modulars, the storyline in itself is a funny one, with the donuts complementing the stereotype that all cops like donuts. And well, we all need a police station, and a municipal building is not meant to be flashy. The two buildings on the sides do add depth and at the same time preserve the fact that the police station in itself is a historical landmark. Unlike other modular sets that are linking storylines to each other, like the corner garage to the diner, you have this one linking itself to the brick bank. At number 2, the Parisian Restaurant. Set number 10243. The set was released in 2014 with 5 minifigures, 2,469 pieces, was on the shelf for almost 6 years, retailing at $159.99. Currently goes for around $246 new and $218 used. Now, if you're able to get this set, I highly recommend it because it is all around beautiful set. Interior, exterior, story, and value. What you're getting here is extremely well done. Assuming this is the reason why LEGO kept on the shelf for so long, is because it was an easy sell. And if you're able to pick this up or keep in your collection, hold it close because it is a beautiful set. At number 1, the Assembly Square. Set number 10255. This set released in 2017 has 9 minifigures, 4,002 pieces. It is currently available at $279.99. This was the 10-year anniversary set. LEGO went big with going a base plate and a half, which kind of throws a lot of people off in their cities because now you have this half base plate of space that you need to worry about. But with the new road system that came out, it actually works out. And at the 20-year mark, I hope LEGO does come out with another base plate and a half to kind of make it even. If you were to have a block like this, if you put them right next to each other. This set was an homage to the classic line of modular. You can see the Market Street Cafe Corner Green Grocer with the colors that was utilized in the design of the set. And if you were to choose one set out of everything here, this would be the perfect one. You have 3 different buildings highlighting depth with individual stories within every layer of this building, going from the first, second, and third floors all the way through. Although a little pricey, it's definitely worth its value, and the storylines that you can create here can go a long way. So that is every single modular going from 2007 to 2021. I am looking forward to 2022. It's a year away and I'm wondering what will come next. What do we currently need? I say hospital or post office or school. I think those 3 would be the next best things. Another municipal building would be great. Let me know if you agree or disagree with how I ranked my modulars. If you made it with me all the way to the end of this video, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, like, comment, subscribe below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys, peace.